Howdy, burger lovers. Name's Frank Callahan, though most folks just call me the Grill Master. I've spent the last 20 odd years perfecting the art of burger grilling in my backyard, and let me tell you, there's nothing like the sound of a patty hitting a hot grill on a summer afternoon. Today, I'm going to take you on a tour of America, one burger at a time. We're talking 5 regional masterpieces, each with its own unique twist, from the crab-top Chesapeake burger to the molten cheese-filled Juicy Lucy. But before we dive in, let's cover some universal grilling tips that'll make every burger you cook taste like it came from a pro. First, always use 80-20 ground beef. That's 80% lean, 20% fat for maximum juiciness. Second, preheat your grill to medium-high heat, about 375 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Third, don't overwork the meat when forming patties. Handle it gently to keep it tender. Fourth, let those patties rest for 3 to 5 minutes after grilling so all those delicious juices stay inside. And finally, always use a meat thermometer to check for an internal temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Trust me, nobody likes a dry burger, or worse, one that's still pink in the middle. Now, let's fire up the grill and get started. All right, let's kick things off with a burger that's as unique as the Chesapeake Bay itself, the Chesapeake Burger. This bad boy hails from the mid-Atlantic, where land and sea collide in the most delicious way possible. Now, the secret here is dual surface preparation. You've got your classic beef patty grilling over an open flame for that smoky char, while the crab sauce, oh man, that crab sauce, is being gently sautéed in a pan to keep it tender and full of flavor. First, you'll mix your ground beef with an egg to bind it, then season it with salt and pepper. Shape it into 4 patties. Remember, don't overwork the meat, and grill them over moderate hot coals for about 5 minutes per side until they hit 160 degrees Fahrenheit internally. While those patties are sizzling, it's time to whip up the crab sauce. Sauté some shallots and garlic in a pan, deglaze with seafood stock, stir in that lump crab meat and Dijon mustard, and finish it off with a pat of butter for richness. Pour that warm, buttery sauce over your grilled patties, and boom, you've just brought a taste of the Chesapeake Bay to your backyard. Trust me, one bite and you'll feel like you're sitting on a dock with a cold drink in hand. Now let's break this down step by step so you can nail it on your first try. Step 1. Mix your ground beef with an egg. This acts as a binder to keep those patties from falling apart on the grill. Add a pinch of salt and pepper, but don't go overboard. You want the beef to shine. Shape it into 4 patties, about 3/4 of an inch thick. Pop those on a moderate hot grill. We're talking 375 to 400 degrees, and let them cook for 5 minutes per side. You're aiming for an internal temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit, so keep that meat thermometer handy. While the patties are grilling, it's time for the crab sauce. In a cast iron skillet, sauté some minced shallots and garlic in butter until they're soft and fragrant. Deglaze the pan with a splash of seafood stock. This'll pick up all those brown bits and add depth of flavor. Stir in your Dijon mustard and that lump crab meat and let it heat through gently. Finish it off with a pat of butter for that silky restaurant quality sauce. Once your patties are done, place them on a toasted Kaiser roll and ladle that crab sauce right on top. And there you have it, a Chesapeake burger that's crispy, juicy, and packed with coastal flavor. All right, y'all, let's head down south for our next burger, the Carolina Burger. This one's a messy, flavor-packed masterpiece that's not for the faint of heart. The key here is high heat searing. You want a thick, sturdy crust on your patty to hold up against all those wet, heavy toppings, because this burger is loaded. First, you'll grill your patties over high heat to get that hard sear. We're talking flames licking the edges, smoke billowing, and a crust that'll hold its own against the chili and slaw. To assemble it Carolina style, start with a toasted bun, slather on some yellow mustard, add your patty, then pile on a generous scoop of meaty chili. And I mean no beans, folks. This isn't Texas. We're keeping it pure and protein-packed. Top that with a heap of creamy coleslaw and a sprinkle of finely chopped raw onions for a little crunch. The result? A burger that's spicy, tangy, creamy, and crunchy all at once, just like a true Southern barbecue joint intended. And pro tip, eat this one with a fork and knife because it's going to get messy. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of grilling the Carolina burger. Step 1, you're going to crank up that grill to high heat. We're talking 450 degrees or hotter. Form your patties, then toss them on the grill and press down hard with your spatula for about 3 to 4 minutes per side. You want that thick, crispy crust to hold up against the toppings, so don't be shy, press it down good. While those patties are searing, let's talk toppings. First up, the chili. This isn't your average bean-filled chili. We're keeping it meaty and simple. Brown some ground beef, add diced tomatoes, a splash of tomato sauce, and your favorite spices, chili powder, cumin, paprika, and let it simmer until it's thick and flavorful. Next, the coleslaw. Shred some cabbage, mix it with mayo, a splash of vinegar, a pinch of sugar, and a little salt and pepper. You want it creamy but tangy to cut through the richness of the chili. Finally, finely chop some white onions for a little crunch. Now to assemble. Toast your bun, slather on that yellow mustard, add your seared patty, then pile on the chili, coleslaw, and onions. And there you have it, a Carolina burger that's bold, messy, and packed with Southern flavor. Now let's mosey on over to the Southern Plains for a burger that's as simple as it is genius, the Oklahoma Onion Burger. This one's all about the smash. You take a ball of beef, pile on a mountain of paper-thin onions, and smash it all down on a hot griddle until those onions caramelize in the beef fat. The result? A thin, crispy patty with sweet, caramelized onions embedded in every bite. It's cheap, fast, and packed with flavor, just like a classic diner burger should be. The key here is high heat and a heavy spatula. You want that griddle screaming hot so when you smash the beef, it sizzles and crisps up instantly. And don't skimp on the onions, the more the better. They'll cook down and melt into the patty, creating a flavor bomb that's hard to beat. Top it with a slice of American cheese and serve it on a toasted bun, and you've got a burger that's crispy, juicy, and downright addictive. All right, let's break down the Oklahoma Onion Burger step by step. Step 1, slice your yellow onions paper thin. You want them thin enough to cook quickly and melt into the patty. Step 2, crank up your griddle or cast iron skillet to high heat. Place a ball of ground beef, about 2½ ounces, on the griddle, then pile on a generous amount of onions. Now here's where the magic happens. Grab your heavy spatula and smash that beef down flat. Press hard and hold it for a few seconds to make sure those onions embed into the meat. You'll hear that sizzle. That's the sound of flavor being born. Let it cook for 3 to 4 minutes until the edges are crispy and golden, then flip it. Those onions will be caramelizing in the beef fat, creating a sweet, savory crust. Cook it for another 1 to 2 minutes, then top it with a slice of American cheese and let it melt. Step 3. Assemble your burger on a toasted bun, and if you're feeling extra, add a few more raw onions on top for crunch. And there you have it, a crispy, juicy, onion-packed masterpiece that's pure Oklahoma diner goodness. Now let's head up north to the great state of Wisconsin, where they've taken the humble burger and turned it into a rich, buttery masterpiece. This is the Wisconsin Butter Burger, and it's as decadent as it sounds. The secret? Butter basting. You're going to grill your patties like normal, but instead of just flipping them, you'll brush melted butter on top while they cook. Flip them and baste the other side too. The goal is to let that butter soak into the meat and the bun, creating a silky, rich finish that'll have you licking your fingers. This burger is simple but luxurious, just like a cozy Midwest diner should be. And don't skimp on the butter, use the good stuff. Unsalted, high-quality butter will give you that clean, creamy flavor without overpowering the beef. Trust me, once you try this, you'll never look at a burger the same way again. Let's dive into the Wisconsin Butter Burger step by step. Step 1. Form your patties from 1 pound of ground beef, about 3/4 inch thick. Season them with a little salt and pepper, but remember, the star here is the butter, so don't overdo it. Step 2. Grill those patties over medium heat for about 4 to 5 minutes per side. Now here's where the magic happens. Grab your basting brush and melted butter. Brush a generous amount of butter on the top of each patty while they cook. Flip them and baste the other side too. You want that butter to soak into the meat, creating a rich, silky texture that's pure Wisconsin. Step 3. While the patties are cooking, lightly toast your buns on the grill and brush the insides with butter too. This will give you that perfect buttery bite with every mouthful. Step 4. Assemble your burger. Place that butter-basted patty on the buttered bun and serve it up immediately. And there you have it. A Wisconsin butter burger that's juicy, rich, and downright irresistible. All right, folks, we're heading up to the land of 10,000 lakes for our final burger, the Minnesota Juicy Lucy. This one's a cheese lover's dream because the cheese isn't on top, it's stuffed inside the patty. That's right, you take 2 thin patties, place a square of American cheese in the center, seal the edges, and grill it up. The result? A molten cheese explosion with every bite. But here's the catch. You've got to manage that internal temperature. Cook it too hot and the cheese will leak out before it's done. Cook it too low and you'll end up with a raw burger. The key is medium heat and patience. You're looking at 20 to 25 minutes of grilling to get that perfectly cooked patty with a cheese-filled center. And trust me, when you slice into this bad boy and see that cheese lava oozing out, you'll know it was worth the wait. Just be careful. That first bite is hot. Let's break down the Juicy Lucy step by step, because this one's a little trickier than the rest. Step 1. Form 2 thin patties for each burger, about 1/4 inch thick. Place a square of American cheese in the center of one patty, then top it with the second patty. Now here's the most important part. Seal those edges tightly. You don't want any cheese escaping during cooking, so press the edges together like you're sealing a dumpling. Step 2. Grill those patties over medium heat for 20 to 25 minutes. You're cooking this low and slow to make sure the cheese melts inside without leaking out. Use a meat thermometer to check for an internal temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit. This is non-negotiable. Step 3. Let those patties rest for 5 minutes before slicing into them. This will give the cheese a chance to set slightly, so it doesn't all come pouring out at once. And finally, serve it on a toasted bun. But warn your guests, that first bite is going to be hot, gooey, and glorious. And there you have it, folks. 5 burgers, 5 regions, and 5 ways to grill like a pro. We started on the Chesapeake Bay with a burger topped with buttery crab sauce, then headed down south for the Carolina burger, where high-heat searing meets meaty chili and creamy slaw. We smashed our way through the Oklahoma onion burger, basted our way to buttery bliss with the Wisconsin butter burger, and finished strong with the Minnesota Juicy Lucy, where molten cheese is the star of the show. But no matter which burger you're grilling, remember those universal tips. Use 80-20 ground beef for juiciness. Preheat your grill to medium-high heat. Don't overwork the meat. Let those patties rest for 3 to 5 minutes. And always use a meat thermometer to check for 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I've shared my secrets. It's your turn to fire up the grill and make some magic happen. And hey, if you nail one of these burgers, invite me over. I'll bring the lemonade. Thanks for joining me, and happy grilling.